Welcome to One Crack News. Let's give it to you raw. And when we say raw, I mean raw. R-A-W. Can't be stopped. I didn't mean to trouble you. Now, let's get into the secret shakeup. What does that even mean, Cino? Well, here's the thing. Most of these networks that you've been seeing, like Fox or let's say not just Fox, but CNN, MSNBC, ABC, ESPN, CBS. There's major shakeups. It's beyond the reach of comprehension. Most of this is tied into the writer's strike and the actor's strike. Due to the success of one entity is diluting the whole structure in the system of another entity. See, this is where streaming services serve a disservice to the public. Holy crap. Harley Davidson is on fire? Man, the Harley Davidson dealership is on fire. I don't even know why. Let me keep straight. That's white people problem. Keep straight. Now, ain't no secret though. Yeah, it ain't a secret to everybody else, but here's the secret. What people don't know is the secret is even worse than what they've ever encountered. You see, here's a major part of what's going on with the secret behind all of these companies. They're restructuring and they're getting rid of their long-term contracts and they're finding loopholes to get out of them. They're looking for any grounds to terminate you and they're giving buyout packages. And then they're saying, go ahead and find money everywhere else. This is a universal thing. The NBA is in the same boat. NFL, baseball is going to get there soon. This is a universal effect because of the simple fact is that they can't lie anymore. See, most of these companies are faking the funk. And as long as you keep faking the funk, it looks like to everybody else you're successful. But when you're not being successful, it's clear to the general public. Like something's not adding up here. Why have everybody moving like this if they successful? ESPN, right? Biggest #1 leader in sports. You would think success. They the #1 leader. Everybody would turn to ESPN first. They got all these outlets. They're the ones you look forward to, right? No. ESPN is internally having problems, and they had no competition early on. They were monopolizing the game because they had all the major outlets, and it wasn't anybody there to rival them. Now they have competition at every level, and due to streaming services, they're losing. People would rather listen to people on the internet than listen to them. So why they're gonna pay multi-million-dollar contracts for guys who sound smart and look the part, but no, they're boring. They have no character. So why are they paying $5 million salaries to them? Why are they paying this guy $3 million? Why are they paying this guy $7 million? Why is this guy getting paid 2.5 Why is everybody with 7-figure contracts who are not really affecting the numbers? Why are we paying out this money? Because they've been here long? Can them. We're losing money. People gotta go. And that's what they did. They're trimming the fat on every company, in every corporation, every 3-letter syllable that you could think of. They're all doing what ESPN doing. Disney is not just the only one. Disney said 7,000 jobs. That is a lot of people out of work. That trickles down to ESPN, ABC, all their affiliates. It's not just ESPN. There's a lot of people out of work, and they're going to try to have to figure it out on their own. So what they're doing, and they say, well, what's going to happen to the network? Oh, they're going to replace those people with less talented people and bring them right through the door. Because what difference does it make? We're not getting the numbers anyway. Maybe these less talented people could bring in some numbers. Maybe we can find a diamond out of all these untalented people we got. So they're going to hire less talented people and put them on a platform. Why do you think all the athletes now, I told you, they're getting it. Now they're all coming to the internet. They used to shit on the internet. Now they're all here. You see Gilbert Arenas want to start his show and do his little thing, his podcast show, and carry that on over to here, because these other people like FanDuel and all these other companies, they would rather deal with people on the internet than the majors, and then build their own television network. Like they tried to launch FanDuel TV. Thanks, Kay. Okay. For the super chat donation. Well, the battle with the cable corporations, because they're losing money to streaming, because they're giving you a bundle package of all these channels, and majority of them people don't watch. People maybe watch 5-6 channels, excluded from the movie channels. They might watch 5-6 different channels. That's it. So a lot of people, they rather just have the channel they want and be able to pay for that. So now YouTube is YouTube TV. They got all these other outlets that give the service that the people want. They just want certain channels. They don't want the big bundle with 300 channels anymore. You still have people that want it like that. They don't want to go to this all app thing. They like the cable. So they just like, look, I'd rather have cable, go to the channel, watch it. They're used to that. And they're not changing. Right, you got people like my mom. She'll sit there and watch all these black and white TV shows. You know, it's people that's like that. They love and know what they grew up on. Well, the secret is this. This is the secret sauce. The reason why they're doing this is because they're back to get rid of all of this diversity that they have in the networks. Have you noticed all the diverse people are getting fired? They're appeasing to the groups of the good old boys. ESPN is the leader in sports. And majority of the sports that they talk about is generated by African Americans. And yet you have somebody over there who's a mixed person, like Malika Andrews, who just bashes black athletes on a regular. Her job is not in jeopardy because she does their agenda. And we as black people, we backed her. When this whole issue went down with Rachel Nichols, they put her and Malika Andrews in there. They knew Maria Taylor was leaving ESPN. She was leaving. She knew right away, and the way they did her was so racist and just asinine that they tried to turn people off on Maria Taylor, knowing that Rachel Nichols had said all this garbage about her behind the scenes. See, you got to understand something. There's a whole bunch of people out here in this world that don't care if y'all don't see or make a dime. And when the chips start falling and the money start coming up short, who gonna be the first ones on that list to get cut? Us. You see what happened with Jalen Rose? Now Jalen's in a different boat because Jalen Rose has a name. Jalen Rose can do his podcast show and make a killing. There's going to be money for Jalen. More money than being on ESPN. Stephen A. Smith, we've told him before. He over there wanting the boss all the time. Well, the boss is going to fire your ass. Now what? Oh yeah, they're seriously talking about removing Stephen A. Smith. That was in discussion. His contract is coming up. They're not like, hey, don't go over to Fox with Skip. They're thinking, how much do we want to keep Stephen A. here from going over there with Skip? That's what the whole thing is about. Like I told people before, they're getting ready to give the network over to Pat McAfee and JJ Redick. Those are two guys they are cool with. Jimmy Pitaro and Bob Iger from Disney is on Zoom calls with Pat McAfee 3 times a week. Stephen A. Smith can't even get a meeting with them. Let that sink in. He can't even get a meeting with them. And it only gets worse. It only gets worse. It don't get better, it gets worse. HBO got out of the boxing game because they backed the wrong horse. Their racism, Mark Tavitt and his whole thing was about, we want to control and stay with our old school, old boy racist, and they didn't see the changing of the guard Floyd Mayweather was the storm. He was the coming of everything. He was showing them how to sell your sport. The sport of boxing was thriving during the Floyd Mayweather era. Everybody was eating. He took HBO and carried it when they didn't even want him to be the face. They hated on him. The whole network sitting there holding back their biggest star. I've never seen that. And then here comes Manny Pacquiao, not even doing the numbers that Floyd Mayweather's doing for his fights. But still, they're promoting him. Because why? Bob Arum and HBO have a long-term relationship. They kicked Don King out. They hated Don King was there, but they loved Felix Trinidad so much, they had to get Felix Trinidad. They had to take Don King. Don King is the one who brought pay-per-view to HBO. They didn't even have their own pay-per-view outlet. Don had it. It was KO. Don King brought that over there. HBO didn't have their own pay-per-view. Don brought it. Then they went and got their HBO pay-per-view. So Don King brought that over there to them. And then they turned on him, and then he went over to Showtime. He took Mike Tyson and went over to Showtime. They wanted Evander Holyfield. He said, y'all want Holyfield? Y'all got him. And y'all got low numbers. Tyson don't need a belt. He's Mike Tyson. There was so much dirty activity going on. Larry Merchant was there to sell the agenda as he was a secret matchmaker behind the scenes, working with Top Rank and all these other guys trying to put matches together, then go out there and bash fighters on the microphone who wasn't with the program. And no matter what, he always want to bash Floyd Mayweather every fight because once he left Top Rank, that was the agenda, because he made the right decision. He bought himself out of his contract and said, I'm ready to take my career and go in a different direction. I could promote myself, which he could. I'm very happy. I'm very happy the way a lot of things have turned out in this game here. But I'm here to tell y'all that this shakeup that's going on, it's gonna hurt a lot of people's pockets. It's gonna hurt so many people's pockets. They have no idea what's coming next. They don't have a clue. They're out of it. They don't have a clue. Most people don't know that this shakeup is happening. And that all of these so-called experts that you saw that have been there 20, 30 years, your tenure means nothing no more. They're gonna hit you with a buyout. The company they don't even care about losing their innate value anymore. Like ESPN, they're taking a hit. Their innate value is done. Next year they're talking about eliminating the ESPYs. The ESPYs did terrible. Nobody watched it. So all this LeBron James run crap that you're seeing going on and transpiring, no one cares about it. Everybody's playing the political game with so much, with this fake woke crap, you're affecting real money. They was like, well, they did that because they were getting woke. No, it's not about woke. It's not about any of that crap. It's about, it's not good content and you can't handle competition. It's boring. You had good content, you ran it away. Bottom line, you had great content and you turned around and ran it away. They got CBS shows. They have a lot of CBS programming. They have NBC. NBC has been losing money dramatically for years. What they're doing is buying shows from either the UK, and they're buying shows that were on other networks, buying smaller budgeted shows, and they're putting those out. Disney losing money on their films played a part in this, but they've expended so much money throwing money into these projects that they didn't even lose any money. They just didn't gain the money. Right, like if let's say I loan you $100,000 and you give me with interest $130,000 or $150,000 back. I've made $50,000, but normally when I loan out $100,000, I used to get back $300,000. With my interest. Now, I'm getting back only 30 to 40,000, maybe 50. I'm not losing any money, but I'm not gaining the money that I wanted to gain out of it. I've become spoiled with getting over. Where I used to get $2 billion in returns, I would risk $200 million to get $2 billion in earnings. Now I'm getting $700 million out of risking $200 million. I'm getting $700 million. That's not where I want to be. If Disney's like, why are we not hitting the billion no more? Like there wasn't a pandemic or something. People have been accustomed to staying in their house. Even for that short period of time, people were getting more comfortable with not going out in public or crowds. They were comfortable with staying in their home, watching programming on television. Because before then, people weren't even watching television like that. Then, now that you force them to stay home for about a month or two, they're sitting there like, hey, I didn't know all this is on TV. Hey, I like this. This is what I'm paying for, this app thing. Hey, I like this. It's got all my old shows. Look, it's How to Fix Your Garage. Yeah, I'm watching this. So now, what the hell they going to the movies for? Why the hell they finna get dressed up and go anywhere? Shoot, they just gonna throw a party at home, throw some burgers on the grill, and go, hey, come on over, man. We're gonna watch How to Fix That Garage. So everybody's at home. That's why movies now, after less than a month, they're on digital. Like, you can stream it from home. I got a friend, I was like, hey man, the movie came out. He's like, is it on digital yet? I'm like, gosh, like, y'all don't even want to go outside? They want to live like hermit crabs. I can't do that. I gotta get out. I don't want to see it in its worst form. I want to see it on the big screen with the Dolby sound. I can't do that. I couldn't do that to myself even if I tried. You gotta have a movie theater. You gotta do that. Watching it at home, no matter how big your screen is, it ain't that. So you lose the effect. Right, watching it with the crowd, you get the energy, the real people in there, especially if you're in the real crowd. When you got like the hood in there. I like hood, like going to the hood theaters. Yeah, they gonna talk through the damn movie. I'm not gonna go there when it's a movie I gotta really concentrate on and focus on. But if it's a good action movie or something, I ain't got no problem with being in there in the hood. And they gonna make it live. Like when I watched Bad Boys for Life, they made the movie 10 times better. I love it when the hood shows up. Right. That's why all of these streaming shows, they had experiments with people that had no experience whatsoever. Michelle Beadle, her daddy was rich and was a San Antonio Spurs booster and a season ticket holder. He worked for an oil company, a gas oil company, and he got his daughter covering the Spurs. Then she started working for ESPN. Before that, Michelle Beadle's expertise was what? Nothing. No credentials whatsoever. Malika Andrews' credential would get her a job covering sports for a high school team only. She's in over her head at ESPN, totally unqualified to be working the job that she has now. Absolutely. Katie Nolan came from the internet, right? They didn't even know what to do with her. They had her on Fox, got her own show that gathered like no views, threw it on at like 5 in the morning. She was in over her head, then she got a job at ESPN, and they don't know what to do with her. So she was just biding her time. ESPN hired her because she used to be for Fox, and it was a good, like, yeah, we got somebody from Fox. It was like, they're like, you can have her. They didn't know what to do with Katie Nolan. They just kept throwing her on other people's shows. Hopefully people would like her or anything. She just didn't fit in because she didn't come from the media world. She came from the internet world where her internet audience don't resonate with television watchers. And she just wasn't good. So when you start to look at the numbers and look in between the numbers and starting to see what's going on, You starting to figure out a lot of things that's not what things that it seemed. It's not what it really is, you know. So I had no what they would call that, no desire to want it to see the transition they're going. A lot of these television shows now are more reality show based. Very cheap production, low budget actors. The Bachelor, Survivor, Naked and Afraid. These type of shows where people are making less than $5,000. $5,000 to be on a show. You're not spending a lot of money on the budget whatsoever, and you're getting a lot of viewership. A large viewership. This is where the network is going now. More shows are dedicated to stuff like this. So this is why there's a writer's strike, because they don't care about writing anymore. What they care about is audience retention. So they'll have Shark back on shark fishing. Woo! Today we get the boat ready. We're going out and shark fishing. You had Duck Dynasty. You got people, the Antique Road Show. People are selling antiques at the Antique Road Show. That's what they wanted. They absolutely wanted that. I have to check, sincerely. I didn't see it yet. But I don't know when did you send it, but I didn't really get mine. Oh, Malcolm and Rich and all those dudes. Well, it all depends, you know, what you're really looking for. I never had the makeup of a person that was full of it, but was going to tell you or feed you lies. That wasn't my nature. Never would I allow it to become my nature. You know what I'm saying? So people have their own ideologies on what they want to do or what they feel they need to do. The whole nine. Right. Everybody losing money, man. It is a worldwide phenomenon of money being lost, revenue being cut. And the people who are winning seem to be the ones that create their own jobs, create their own opportunities. If you're not creating your own job, your own opportunities, yeah, you got to work for yourself. Yeah, if you don't do X, Y, and Z, you're not going to be successful. Yeah, these are truths. These are not lies, these are truths. The falsehood is any belief that someone else is going to do it for you. They got what's best for you. The majority of these people can care less. So the shakeup, the major shakeup that you're seeing in Hollywood and all of these platforms that they got now, the major shakeup that you're seeing is going to affect 90% of all recurring staff, actors, writers, the whole nine. This is why the strike is going to be detrimental. I'm going to go more on it on our screen theme for all the members. I'm going to give y'all the detail. I'm going to give y'all the players in the game. And I'm going to show you what the structure is. But the secret shakeup, it's not a secret no more. Everything's being exposed. They've been showing you this. Why are they going to be paying you millions of dollars when they can pay these dudes $5,000 with no talent and have them come out there on a show and get your attention? So I'm gonna pay you $1 million because you're a big name. For what? I'm getting more attention off Ray and Bubba. So Ray and Bubba giving me all this attention. Why am I focused on you? I can watch all these people are watching Susie and them trying to rope in a shark and alligator. So why are they gonna pay you $1.5 million? Don't make any sense, do it? So, shouts out to everybody out there, man. I'm gonna dip out. Gotta handle business.